Okay, we're back for another 90-Day Fiancé The Other Way. And let me tell you something, man. I love seeing people do stupid things for love. It's one of my favorite things of all time, so let's get back into it.
I've been sick all day. First thing that happened this morning is my hands.
I don't know. Listen, I understand you try to tell everything so the world can be a part of your journey, but there's just some things that feel TMI. I hope that there's a reason you're telling us this because it seems a little bit too much, but let's see.
Well, my stomach's still upset, and I feel so lonely. It's not really the feeling that I thought I would have on my wedding day.
I'm sorry, I can't feel sorry for you. When you decided to go all the way to India, what did you think this was going to be like? Did you really honestly believe that everything was going to be amazing and exactly the way you thought it would be? This show is interesting because sometimes I wonder, do they just find dumb people? Or do dumb people just say, hey, I'd like to be a part of the show? Because I really have a hard time believing that if you're a person that can think straight, that you didn't know this was going to happen. How could you not know this?
Day, anong nabatyagan mo?
Ay, do ginailanat ko kada aga.
Ang ginhambal ko bala sa imo nga
She was surprised, but she still supports me, even though she doesn't think we're ready yet.
That's an understatement. Y'all not ready? Yeah. You totally not ready. We already talked about this in a previous episode. Y'all don't know how to do business correctly. You can't figure out math. For the while there, before you guys even met, you were on the phone with each other 24/7, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And oh, you may not be ready for a kid. Are you kidding me right now? Is this a surprise?
I don't know what to say, what to do. For the most part, I just walk away because that's how I grew up.
Look, here's the thing. This kid never really knew how to do anything. If you watch this story from earlier in the season, he was kind of on his own and lived in like a camper that was outside of his friend's house or some such craziness. So this kid never really grew up knowing how to adjust emotionally to anything. So honestly, it's no surprise that he's having problems in a relationship, because even if you were completely put together as a person, you're going to have problems with your spouse. But he's way messed up because he allowed her to get away with so much stuff when they were on the phone that now that he's there in person, it's just 10 times worse.
I'm not just doing nothing. If she's hungry, I'm trying to get her food. If she wants her back scrubbed, I help out. And we still end up yelling and arguing.
It's because you're in a terrible relationship. Maybe you should consider getting out. I mean, it's probably, well, I mean, I guess now that you have a kid coming, you're somewhat locked in, but maybe you should just figure something else out.
Everyone's gossiping and rumors spread, oh, maybe he's going to meet somebody, or maybe they had a falling out. Who knows?
I agree. That's probably true. And guess what? They're right, because you did have a fight. You are trying to get away. You did have a falling out.
The meeting yesterday was really important.
Yeah, I think it was really important too. I'm a handful and I know it, so.
I know.
My dude's like, yeah, we all know you're a bitch. We know this.
Sit on her lap.
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit too much for me too. We need you to go sit on her lap, please. Just sit on her lap. It's normal. Nah, bro, I'm good. All right.
It's like a dream come true to me.
Do you feel like you won the wife lottery? Because I kind of feel like you did.
I hate to point this out, but the expression on her face during most of this is so interesting. I don't know what's going on here, but whatever it is.
I will take all of the therapy I can get. I would sit in front of someone and talk to them about my problems all day, every day.
I don't think we've actually talked about Danielle yet on this channel. I just want to say a couple things. Number one, I think she's absolutely spectacular. If any of these people ended up being single, she'd be the first one I would call. Holla at your boy Danielle if you finally get away from this dude. But she wants to live in another country, which I'm not exactly down with, although to be perfectly honest, maybe I'm more open to that than I would think. Regardless, she seems to be very well balanced, but that's because she's older, right? It's like she's been through life. He hasn't been through life. I love the fact that he wants her to pay for everything and all this other stuff. He can't find a job, and I know that the country is kind of poor or whatever, but Like, bro, like, how are other people doing it? Help a sister out. She needs help.
Yohan and I were seeing a therapist for a little bit, but that kind of fell apart and he stopped agreeing to go. He doesn't like to have hard conversations and he definitely doesn't like to talk about feelings or emotion.
This should come as no surprise because of his cultural background and the fact that he's a guy and the fact that he's a young guy. Like, most guys don't want to go to therapy in the first place, but a young guy definitely isn't going to want to. And in his culture, 100% not going to want to. You need to be with an older guy. You had your fun. You need something else. This is not the dude for you. Holla at your boy.
I am not funding your flex.
Here she's talking about buying a house for $20,000 to rent for $100 a week, or $100 a month to have income coming in. Now, of course, the math on that is terrible. Like, she's not going to get her money back for years. But more importantly, again, this is a young kid who doesn't think about certain things, and she is not trying to fund his lifestyle. She's trying to, kind of retire and have her own thing. But it's decisions like this that she's made, where she's married this young guy in a country that's very poor, where he doesn't have his own stuff and he doesn't understand this stuff. Again, she's mature. He's not. Fundamentally, this marriage doesn't work. Sure, they'll have fun times and they'll always be able to say, oh, well, we had some good times here and there. But fundamentally, this thing doesn't work.
El apartamento, la renta lo pago yo. Todo lo que yo necesito lo pago yo con mi cuarto. Así que no te llenes la boca diciendo que a mí tú me mantienes.
¿De dónde tú tienes esta camisa?
Tú lo compraste.
¿De dónde tú tienes?
Tú lo compraste.
And here come the receipts. Here come the receipts, ladies and gentlemen. Old boy, like, look, I pay for all this stuff. I pay for this. She's like, oh, who bought you that shirt? Who bought you those pants? Bro, you can't win this fight, man. You can't.
I never thought that he had this in him. Not willing to contribute, not willing to be an equal partner, punishing me because I can't have a child. Like, if any one of those individual things, ever happened in one of my friends' relationship, I would be like, get the out.
And herein lies the problem. Almost every human, including myself, knows exactly what to tell other people to do to get them out of a spot that they're in. But when you're in that spot, it's very hard to take that advice that you would give to anyone else. Even though you know it's the right move. She knows she needs to leave. This isn't a matter of if it's going to work. It's not going to work long term. They have two completely different ideas of what happiness is and how things should be. Fundamentally, this relationship doesn't work. I think I've said that before.
I can do the 1-2 step. I've got whatever this was called. And then I do a lot of...
Some of you know what I want to say here, but I'm not going to say it. It's a neat party trick. That much is for sure.
I would say she's a little clumsy, but she enjoys her moves, which is really awkward moves. I would say it's really never in a dictionary of dance.
So would it be better if I just go back to America then?
Did I say that?
If you want that, then go. Did you not say that?
Then go back.
I hate disingenuous things like this. Some people will say this in an argument, but they don't really mean it. And it feels like it's slightly manipulative. Then go. If this dude left, you would be so upset and crying, whatever. If you really feel that way, then keep that same energy if he does it. Of course, you're not going to because you don't really mean it. This is a pet peeve of mine in general when people try to argue with anyone and you hear people say some stuff like that. I understand in the moment you're feeling a certain way and it's the thing that you want to say to get back at someone. But let me tell you something. I'm going to make you keep your energy if you do that to me. Legit. I won't hold what you say against you, but I'll hold you to it.
What do you want me to do at this point, Mary?
I don't know, Brennan.
All right, so what did we learn in this episode? There's still a lot to go. So what did we learn in this episode? People still, they don't know what the hell they want. Everyone's making mistakes, and we're here to enjoy it. Listen, I talked about a lot of these couples before in previous episodes. Make sure you check out these videos. But until then, I'll see you next time as these people continue to ruin their lives. Let's see what happens next week.
Sarper, get your phone.
Yes.